So
This
excited.
is Justin Roberti with Benzinga, writer and producer. I'm here with the great Justin Sun, founder of Tron, founder of BitTorrent, very much a known figure and leader within the Web3 space. Justin, it's an honor to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Justin.
So I wanted to ask, I've noticed from the data that Tron shared with me that for the past several months at least, Tron has really been the primary network for USDT usage, which is really interesting because that's where people are actually using it on a practical day-to-day basis as a currency. Is this an important phenomenon within the crypto space? What does it mean to you to have Tron be the number one used network for USDT?
Yes. First of all, I think people in the United States don't really notice actually, for most of the country in the world, it's very hard to get access to US dollars in the first place. So that's why, USDC are super common in the United States because you can use bank as a via on-ramp and off-ramp to get access to USDC. But for people outside of US, basically 90% of them don't even have US bank account in the first place. So that's why I believe USDT on Tron provide them with a very precious opportunity. They can actually get access to US dollars in the first place. For example, people in Vietnam, people in Malaysia, people in Africa, South America, it's a very good way for them to actually get access to US dollars without holding a US bank account. Because most of the people in those developing countries, they don't even have big US banks, right? Open branches there. So the majority of the solution is hold their local currency. But for the local currency, as we all know, the value goes down dramatically, right? So that's why I think USDT and Tron even become an alternative for them to storage their value. And also, of course, they can make payment. This is a perfect global payment network. Everyone is using. So currently, I think yesterday, our transaction volume is about 14 billion US dollars per day. So since the inception of the network, we have done $7 trillion worth of transaction, which is big. And today, our daily active users is around 2.5 million to 3 million users, with around 9 to 10 million transaction per day. So it is very active, increase about 30% compared to Q4 last year. So we believe it's gonna continue to grow since more and more people has this kind of the demand, especially outside of the United States. So definitely we will continue to work on to drive the usage and to provide Web3 and blockchain as one of the most important infrastructure globally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild. That is a crazy amount of transactions on the network and very impressive. What does it mean to these global users who are using it because they don't have access to necessarily a stable fiat currency, which is something that's very easy to take for granted here in the U.S., even though inflation is kind of a problem right now. We have a fairly stable fiat currency. To people who don't have access, the underbanked or the unbanked, what does it mean to them to be able to use USDT on a global basis like that?
Yes. First of all, I believe the beauty of blockchain is to open. You can get actually an account for free, and without basically any banking resources, you can get an account. So for most of the, we know lots of like failure states and also poverty actually is not like created by basically lack of food or lack of water. I think the loss of the poverty actually caused by lack of financial services. You know, for example, for people in Africa, one of the biggest pain point for them to preserve their wealth is there is no way for them to storage their value, right? Even for example, they farm and they store anything, but they can't get access to bank account. They can get robbed like overnight, and there's no banks to hold those values. And also of course, the cost of open banks in those regions is big. So that's why there's even like Citibank, SHBC, you know, Bank of America, like nobody even bothered to open banks in developing states. But actually, blockchain provide them with a fabulous solution. They can get like whatever like bank accounts they want, basically accounts, right? They want on blockchain with basically zero cost, and they can use this account to receive money, store value, and also like no one in the world even know they have money in those accounts, right? Because blockchain is also anonymous. So that's why I think in lots of the developing states, people starting to get access to financial services, which I think is extremely important because those countries don't even have the capability to get access to financial services. Financial services is very common in US, right? Everybody has banks, has bank account, has credit card. But actually, you know, even in China, for example, only I think less than 10% of the people has credit card actually. So that's why I believe blockchain become like one of the most important infrastructure, just like gas, you know, just like water, you know, like everybody can use every day without a very big cost. Because we all know, like the valuation of all the financial institutions is big, right? They spend trillions of dollars like every year to build a branch, to build a financial system. But blockchain and Web3 actually bring down all the costs, right? So basically every day right now for the Tron network users, they spend $0 on getting accounts and spend only like 20 cents, like 15 cents on each transaction, which is also a big advantage for those people. So that's why I always believe stablecoin, especially US stablecoin, actually has the biggest use case actually outside of US. Because in US, like everybody has ACH, right? Everybody have bank accounts in Wells Fargo, like Bank of America. So it's not like must for them. But for people in the developing states, getting accounts for free and feel free to use US dollars actually is a very big benefit.
No, that absolutely. You know, what are people? I know that Tron is looking at sort of a global picture in terms of the usefulness of blockchain and of cryptocurrencies. And you've always been a leader in the Web3 space that has a very clear vision and a lot to say about it. You know, what would you say to people who don't see it as a global vision, who are frankly a little bit Silicon Valley focused? You know, is it possible to look at the big picture while being that focused on what's going on in California? It seems limiting. Yes. What would be the vision as you would describe it? What is the future that you're working toward with Tron?
Yes, I think for Tron, definitely we have a global version, right? So we take all the countries as same, right? Because I believe since Tron is and Huobi is all infrastructure provider, right? So we believe like financial services and the blockchain services is something everyone will need in the future. It's just like gas, like water, is basic need for human beings, right? So that's why we want to develop the cheap solution, cheap and sufficient solution, and provide to everyone in the world with this kind of the solution. Actually, I born in China, and in my 20s, I moved to United States, and I started my first company also in Silicon Valley in California. But I mean, recently, right, since we have seen this kind of the narrow mindset in United States, SEC is suing lots of entrepreneurs and try to kick like crypto out of United States. And lots of people are thinking, right, crypto bring lots of risk to United States, and also they don't care about what happened outside of US. That's like something I think they are going to a wrong path, actually, right? So going to a wrong path in the history. Actually, if we see like how United States succeed to be the #1 country in the world, it's because like US cares about like everything happen globally and wants to like help people globally, and also at the same time US develop best solution and offer to everybody in the world, right? Not even talk to like high technology which we use every day, even like McDonald's, Coca-Cola. It is like this is even food, right? So we can promote like globally. So that's why right now I still want to become like one of the bridge to bridge basically the best technology in Silicon Valley and with all the developing states in the world, because I believe this is also one of the biggest advantage and mission we need to do to benefit everyone in the world with Web3 and blockchain.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. We're going to be talking about global use cases today with Tron later on in the panel here on Crypto Unlocked. We really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us and discuss these topics. We hope that you come back again. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care, Justin.